We're going to install the world's first KW coilover set to my BMW i3S. We're going to see how low we can get it. I'm going to let Sam crack on with the install, and I'll speak to you guys in a minute about this kit. So Sam's already midway through this installation, but I thought I'd give you guys a little bit more insight about the kit that we have here today, why we chose it, what we're looking to achieve, what's the benefits, and potentially is there any disadvantages. So this kit, as mentioned in the start of this whole film, if you like, this whole video, it is the world's first documented that we've seen. So we've not seen on any forums, any YouTube videos at all, anyone's ever fitted a KW variant 3 set of coilovers, let alone any other brand either. So this is going to be a bit of a world's first. So I'm interested to see what this is going to look like. You guys have already seen a little bit of what's going on in the car, but let's talk about this kit. So as mentioned, KW variant 3. So this is their adjustable, not only coilover with the springs being able to obviously move up and down to change the ride height, but we also have bump and rebound adjustment on the bottom and the top, which gives you the ability to soften and stiffen depending on what you want from the car. So my idea is to try and give as much compliancy to the car, but also dial out some of the front understeer because the tyres are quite narrow, and I find personally going into corners the front washes out a little bit. So I'm going to tweak a little bit of rebound to try and stop the fronts from coming up as much. But idea is to try and keep it really nice and supple and have better control over the body compared to the standard shocks at least. This is the street performance kit, so this is designed for fast road use or light circuit. That's not to say it's going to be uncomfortable. KW don't design their spring kits to be like that. It's not a full-blown race setup at least. So while we're in here, we're also replacing the front top mounts as well, which are what these bits are here in the middle. So the rears are less important because you don't have, like the front here, a bearing that moves around. So the car has around 20,000 miles, so it's not young, it's not old by any means, but it's at a point where it makes sense to replace it, get it done all at the same time. As I said, the rears are less susceptible to issues, whereas the front, doesn't matter whether you're standard or not, it's going to wear out eventually. One thing to note, the car currently is sit on AST lowering springs, so it's around 25mm lower than standard. We're looking to try and drop the front around 5 to 10mm and the rear around 10 to 15mm. That is lower than it already is. That's going to be about 35 to 45mm lower than standard, which is quite a lot. But I'm trying to keep it usable for everyday driving. I can go up my driveway, which is quite steep, as well as going through multi-story car parks where you've got big ramps up and down. We will drop the car all the way down to the ground so you guys at home can enjoy it and see what it looks like, but we will then raise it up so it's a bit more usable. So the last piece of the puzzle are these little brown, also these black covers here, and the idea behind these is to give some longevity to the coilovers so the threads themselves aren't going to get gummed up. These are stainless steel, but I'm trying to keep them as nice and new as possible because I would really like to see these on the car, but obviously they're going to be hidden away, but there's no point just getting them covered in muck, so later down the line if I want to make adjustment, I still have the possibility of doing so. So that gives a little bit of an insight behind this kit. I'm interested to see what it looks like. As I said, you guys have probably already seen a sneak peek of this going on, but we'll talk about it once it's finished up on the ground, take it for a test drive, bit of alignment work, and we'll see what it looks like. But I'm really excited. I've been waiting for a very long time for this kit. So let's get back to the main video. See you guys in a minute. So the whole installation on my i3 is now complete, and the KW variant 3s have been riding for a few weeks now. I've actually taken this car away, given a bit of time to settle before we actually did an alignment, as well as the corner weighting, which I'm probably fairly, I'd say, confident that this is the only corner weighted i3 in the world. I don't think I've seen any people install any coilovers, especially any sort of corner weighting at least. So it's now set up as good as it can do. It's set up for everyday driving, but it's optimized, so it has a really good balance. But let's talk a little bit about the kit and what I've experienced with this so far. Because I said I've been driving with the car now for a few weeks, and I think now I can give you a pretty good idea of what to expect with this particular kit. So first off, it is a street performance kit. So it's designed to be a performance-based product. It's not all about comfort. But I'm very pleased to say the comfort levels on this now are better than any suspension combination, whether it be shocks and springs, any that I've tested, and we've had a lot of these cars in. So the comfort levels on this have been amazing. I'm really impressed by that aspect of it. Obviously, you would have seen this car being dropped all the way down as low as it can. We have raised it for everyday driving because otherwise I'm going to risk that front splitter, and I really don't want to smash the non-purchasable AC Schnitzer front splitter there, which you just can't get hold of anymore. They don't make it. So the comfort level is really impressive, but what's actually more than anything really amazed me is the stability level actually with this car. So high speeds now, it feels like a normal car. And that's the best compliment I can give, really. This is a very small, compact city car. So on motorways, it's always a little bit unstable. But as a whole now, it feels just fantastic. So much stability, loads of grip, and it still kept the compliancy, which I'm just overall very pleased that we've managed to achieve everything from a suspension kit that is designed to be a performance-based kit. So that is brilliant, really pleased with that. So let's talk about a few other aspects. If you want this kit, we are looking at around 8 weeks to produce it, because KW only produced this to order. So if you're mad enough like me to want a coilover kit for your i3, you've got to allow a couple months for it to be made. And that's right now. You never know what might happen in the future with lead times. So that aspect isn't fantastic, but if you're patient enough, then it's definitely worth it in the long run. As I said, you've got the ability to change the ride height on this, which in itself means you can change the aesthetics of it, you can change the handling, and also efficiency as well. The lower it is, the less drag, the less wind underneath the car body, which is going to help its efficiency. And we haven't gone too aggressive with the suspension settings, the geometry, so it is designed actually for range, not necessarily just out and out performance. So as a whole, I'm genuinely very, very pleased by how this performs and drives. It's everything I expected. Yes, it is a very expensive bit of kit, but in my opinion, very worthwhile. So in my opinion, worth getting. Is it worth the money over all the other kits on the market? Debatable, because this is probably best part 3 times the price compared to, say, an Evolve, Bilstein, shock and spring setup. But for me, I would say it's worth it. But whether it's worth it for you guys, don't know. Drop a message down below and I'll do my best to respond if you've got any questions. But that wraps things up here. We've got a few other little plans and ideas with this car. I'm excited to see how this progresses, because I'm not looking to get rid of it. For me, it's a great everyday car, and I've had it for 3 years now, and I can't see myself getting rid of it. But that wraps up the installation. I hope you've enjoyed it at home at least. And yeah, this is the first documented, first corner weighted i3 in the world on Coilovers, which is quite cool. But anyway, we'll catch you guys next time. We'll see what we do with the car next. But more than anything, thanks for watching. See you soon.